Everybody, here is Lucas once again, and I haven't I haven't shared videos on this channel for more than 2 weeks. That was because of the holidays, because of New Year, and the fact that I was abroad on New Year's Eve. I did not have microphones, and I was resting from any kind of activity. Any kind of social activity, any kind of activity which can be related to blue screens. So yeah, I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to share some thoughts like always, but it was just, not related to my willings, but the fact that when I'm resting, and then I will not post any videos on YouTube. But what the fact is, guys, I will start this 2026 with a very tough topic. I will start with a topic in which you can tell me also your opinions, as every man literally struggle with it. And before I will tell you what I want to talk about, I want to give you an example of two very powerful men. One of them was very, very wise. One of the wisest men in the Bible. His name was Solomon. He was the King Solomon, and he was known for being very wise. He was known for being somebody who can actually stop arguments, some discussions in which there was no possibility to actually give it up and to find some maybe main point, some common fields in the discussion. That was King Solomon. He was literally one of the wisest men in the Bible, and there was one thing about him. He had one weakness, one Achilles heel, definitely. It was the women. And because of women, he almost lost everything. He almost lost God. Because his power was, again, wisdom. And his wisdom was literally from God, from God's hand. And he almost lost it. And he actually lost it because of lust. Because of lust. Lust is one of the sins. And in Bible, for people who are believers, it is also not very easy challenge to overcome lust, because it is something which is like stuck deep inside our nature. It's so like related to animals, because the first thing when you think about animal, about a wild animal in a wilderness, it is actually his or her, I would tell, desires. Its desires, urges, and needs, because it's all about instinct. Erotic things are about instinct, and it's not the bad thing that we are actually able to have sex with each other, because that's not the way it is. Sex is nice, it's pleasant, it is directly related to making children, right? But we are also created to finally have one woman. But not right now about it. Let's talk about this thing, about these two men. The King Solomon was the first one, and he was like totally missed. He missed himself. He missed his conscience. He missed his psyche. He missed his mentality. He missed his skills. He missed God because of lust, because of women, because he was irresponsible with his thoughts. He was irresponsible with what he did in his free time, what he did with his power, because The more power we have, the more women will just want you, will have a desire to possess you, to obtain you, to gain your power, because the women wants power, and women's want something from you always. That's what her nature is. She wants to be protected. She wants to be in an environment that she feels safe. That's what a woman is. And it's not bad that a woman wants right now money from a man, because money guarantee protection and safety. So that's what a natural way it is. That's a natural way, totally natural one. And definitively, if a man is saying that this woman wants just money, but that's what her nature is right now, and nowadays money is literally protection. And it's not all of it, because right, you can tell me that money is not just protection. It is like something like a pride. Yeah, and everybody is proud. Honestly, I know a lot of people who are proud, and not a lot of people who are not, because it's very extremely difficult and tough to be humble. Humility is rare. Humility is seldom. Just not talk about it. Not talk about it, because when we talk about humility, it's just few people around you, in your surroundings, in your close friends. Yeah, humility is rare, whatever what. But back to the topic here. Back to the topic. Women want money because it's safety, because they have it in the genes. That's what the genetics of a woman is. She wants to be protected. She wants to feel safe, because her sex is inferior. And yeah, I'm telling that women is a bit inferior because of the strength abilities, because of the lack of testosterone. And men has testosterone. Yes, I've got a testosterone just to be more resilient to stress. Yeah, and we actually can say that we are the main providers in a whole history. We were hunters. We were hunting for animals, and that's why we are superior and women is inferior. And it just what the nature wants from us. We have hormones that actually give us a lot of possibilities to overcome stress, to face the fears, to face all the challenges, all the obstacles that the life is giving us on the roads. So that's why we are superior here. And women wants to be protected because she's a bit inferior. And it's not worse. Women is not worse. It's a beautiful sex. Yeah, it's a beautiful sex. But she is inferior, and a man is superior here. And alright, nowadays the women can say, alright, but I can also make business. I can be a fantastic manager, a fantastic leader in a company or whatever. Yeah, you can be. Of course you can be. You know, it's always like, if you work hard, whatever sex you have, you will achieve it. And a lot of women have no idea that actually they have a lot more testosterone than normal women, and that's why they can obtain things that the normal women can't, because normal women has just no, I can say, no resilience to stress. They are no stress resilient. Yeah, there is no shield. There is no shield that actually can help them fighting with stress here. I'll take a sip of coffee, because that's my first coffee of today. By the way, it's 8:30. I am so probably. You're gonna see that video 15 minutes after I stop talking. Probably, yeah. But whatever. Right now, I want you to maybe comment this video, to like this video, and to subscribe my channel, because it helps growing my channel. It just helps growing the community of people who think clearly about life. A community of people who are actually fit, who are healthy, who who don't just rely on the things that are being told in the mainstream about food, about love, about everything right now, who are not addicted or who wants to change their life and just start the process of self-improvement and maybe also start new paths with God, because that's what I'm talking about also a lot here on this channel. Even though I'm a teacher and I'm a sportsman, I'm a personal trainer here, that's what I do on daily basis. Whatever what, your private life is a priority. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to educate you and myself about those things. And today's topic is extremely important because lust is just a thing that happens in every man's and women's also life, but men's have this natural super extra urges to fuck everybody around sometimes, and especially when we have this fixation about some women, and it just happens that we look at the women, we look at legs because we fall in love with legs very often. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. And we actually can't let that happen. For example, not to fuck these women, not to sleep with these women. We will do everything literally what's in our way. Every obstacle we will just push or pull it out, throw it away to have these women. And lust is actually something that is not letting us grow in the proper way. It's not letting us having the right self-development, the right self-improvement way, the path that we should be on, especially in our 20s, even in our 30s, I would say. The younger we are, the more self-improvement we should do during the day. I don't know if it's about learning new skills, so new languages, maybe starting a gym, starting running, whatever. But last is actually bothering this fear of self-improvement because, okay, when you don't have an experience with women and you're scared of being a totally fool in a bed in the future and you will not find a wife, maybe that's half right way of thinking. So you got to gain experience. But how much experience? 3 women, 4 women, 5 women? It's not a lot. You don't need a lot to be good in bed. That's what the truth is. You don't need a lot to give pleasure to average women. That's what the truth is. And I was thinking in the past, the same as you may be right now, that you have to be a monster in a bed to give a pleasure to women. That's not the right thing. That's not the right thought. That's not the right way that we should think about, because women is not that complicated. I mean, she is, but in a bed, it's more about also being like emotionally connected with a partner. So if you're scared of being a fool in a bed, just gain some experience, but you really do not need a lot of experience to give women a real pleasure. You don't have to be a monster here. But whatever was, the second person that I was about to say was Samson. And Samson is also from Bible. Well, that was actually not the wisest, but the strongest man in the Bible. So we have 2 men right now included in this video. The first one was Solomon, who was the wisest, and the second one is Samson, who was the strongest. And he was the strongest because of his long hair. That was like the fair legend, I would say, but that's what the Bible says, right? So his power was because of his hair, and nobody knew that. Only the God and him. So I was between a God and him again. Something was between a man and a God. So nobody knew that Samson had this strength because of his long hair. But once he met a woman. He met a woman that tricked him to sleep with him. And while they were sleeping with each other, she asked about his strength because he was just obsessed with her. That was obsession. And he told her that his strength, the key to his strength, to his strength is absolutely in his hair. And you know what? She cut it. She tricked him. She cut this hair at night. And again, a man was fooled by women. A man was tricked, and he missed himself. He missed himself, his soul. He just let his soul being taken away by women. And I think that both of these stories can teach us something, both you and me, that women and lust can be extremely dangerous, especially when we have a lot of ambition, higher goals, a purpose in life. It's extremely difficult. It is absolutely also inevitable to face such a challenge as lust. Lust is causing irresponsibilities. Lust is causing lack of determination, lack of persistence, lack of consistency, lack of discipline. Because that is a kind of discipline, to hold your horses. That is a kind of discipline not to jerk off to pornography. And that is a kind of discipline not to reply on all of DMs that we have on Instagram. Especially when you're successful and a handsome man. And you have a girlfriend or you have a wife. And you're very attractive. I'm asking you how to deal with that. That's nowadays it is so simple and so easy to have sex with women. How is it possible? In the past, women were having sex, most of the cases, right? Most of the scenarios were having sex with men only when they were married. And you know what? One perspective you can say and you can tell me that it's not right and it wasn't the most correct option. But you know, nowadays it's even more incorrect because we have freedom of that. There is no morality in this sphere, and both women and men find having a lot of sexual partners before getting married is not a problem. But actually it is. Actually it is a problem. There is even a research right now that has been shown the influence of number of sexual partners before the marriage, and it was shown that the more you have, the less percentage of successful marriage, the less chance for successful marriage, especially when you had more than 3 and more than 5 partners, sexual partners. It was about women. This research was about women. Probably when it comes to men, maybe it's not the same, but men also overestimate their power when it comes to sex life. And we think that we have influence in that, oh, we can fuck a lot of women, we have like one night stands with a lot of women, and it does influence us. It does. Not as women, but it does, but not about it right now. Guys, just be responsible and take control of your life, because When we are following the desires, when we are following our urges, that's the point, when we are not controlling our life at all. So be in control, take advantage of your life. You want to control it? Start with controlling last. And do not let yourself being fooled by women like King Solomon or Samson. Thank you for listening to me. See you in the next one. Have a nice morning, have a nice day, have a nice coffee.